Hi guys, it is, well, what is it, April 4th, 2012. Once again, an absolutely spectacularly gorgeous day on the planet here in South Austin, Texas. And today's rant is going to be about a man named, I've already forgot his name, Frank Fenner. Is that his name? Frank Fenner. I'd never heard of this guy until yesterday, and he's one of my new heroes. I was poking around on the mainstream news, and somehow this fellow's name came up, Frank Fenner, and I just wanted to alert any of my other tribe members about this guy. Frank Fenner, he died 2 years ago, unfortunately, about a year and a half ago at age 95. He's from Australia. He was a big scientist in Australia. What he is best known for, Mr. Fenner, Dr. Fenner, is being one of the main people who helped eradicate smallpox from this planet. I think that smallpox has been officially declared eradicated. It no longer exists on planet Earth, except in a bunch of laboratories where it can be re-released into the human population whenever someone takes a mind to do it, who's got their hands on this stuff. But I will leave that fear-mongering rant to Alex Jones. But anyway, Dr. Fenner was instrumental in eradicating smallpox from this planet, and ironically enough, was instrumental in promoting the increase in population, helping. He's one cog in the wheel to eradicating one of the ways that Mother Earth used to keep our numbers in check. Smallpox is a horrible, awful disease. Clearly the white folks, upon arriving in the U.S., it was perhaps the major weapon that the invaders from Europe used to destroy the Native American population, to depopulate. Back when this was a true depopulation agenda, we used smallpox as a way to depopulate the United States of America of its original inhabitants, that and destroying the buffalo that they depended on to survive. So anyway, that's what he was all about. That was his life's work, was eradicating smallpox, and he should be applauded for it, I guess. It's a horrendous disease. So it's kind of ironic that almost literally on his deathbed in the year 2010, when I was off traipsing around in Ecuador and Peru, looking for a place to live out the end times, Dr. Fenner just came clean with his opinions about the future of this planet. Now, he was not normally known as a doomsday prophet and environmental alarmist, but he had nothing to lose right before he died of not exactly a deathbed confession. He was just able to be honest. People are so scared to be honest when talking about the end of this planet, the end of the human race. But he had nothing to lose. He was getting ready to die. He didn't care how many damn trolls came after him. And this is what Dr. Fenner had to say. I believe the original interview, he was from Australia, so the original interview took place in Australia. This was actually an article from the London Mail from England, who took up the story from the original magazine in Australia, and it's headlined, "Human race will be extinct within 100 years, claims leading scientist." This is right out of the mainstream media in less than 2 years ago. So this Dr. Fenner, he gets right to it. And I'll just read you this article. It's fairly short. You know, how much can you say about the human race becoming extinct within the next 100 years? Okay, as a scientist who helped eradicate smallpox, he certainly knows a thing or two about extinction. And now Professor Frank Fenner, Emeritus Professor of Microbiology at the Australian National University, has predicted that the human race will be extinct within the next 100 years. He claims that the human race will be unable to survive a population explosion and unbridled consumption. And I have frequently called the overpopulation explosion and its attendant unbridled overconsumption as the twin horns on the beast that is destroying this planet, that is destroying the human race and this entire planet. These are the twin horns on the beast. Now he adds a third one, which we'll come to in a minute, is climate change. That the combination of overpopulation is the number one enemy to the human race that he mentions on his list. Overconsumption number two, and climate change, which is, you know, certainly a product of the first two, overpopulation and overconsumption. All right, Fenner told the Australian newspaper that, quote, "Homo sapiens will become extinct, perhaps within 100 years. A lot of other animals will too," he added. Continuing, this is quoting him, "It is an irreversible situation. I think it is too late already. I try not to express that because people are trying to do something, but they keep putting it off." So what he's saying, if we did have a chance to reverse the three deadly sins of overpopulation, overconsumption, and our reliance on fossil fuels that has created the global warming, that is the man-made global warming that is destroying us and everyone we share this planet with. If indeed we did have that opportunity, the window of opportunity has closed, and it's too late. And this is a man, a 95-year-old man, who knows a hell of a lot more about the situation than this dumb hippie, 52-year-old hippie sitting on this rock in Austin, Texas, knows about the situation. And my guess is he probably knows more about the situation than you do. If you're listening to me read this article. And I tend to listen to 95-year-old, you know, professors of microbiology who are smart enough to eradicate smallpox from this planet. I actually tend to put a lot more stock into what they have to say than what Alex Jones has to say. Now, Alex Jones would call Dr. Frank Fenner an eco-fascist. An eco-fascist. Alex Jones would consider Frank Fenner to be a fearmonger for telling the obvious truth as he sees it at age 95 on his deathbed. To continue with the article. Since humans entered an unofficial scientific period known as the Anthropocene. I love that word. Never heard it until yesterday, but it's going to be one of my new favorite words. The Anthropocene is the time since the Industrial Revolution. That it has been so damaging that it deserves its own name, the Anthropocene. The time since industrialization, we have had an effect on this planet that rivals any ice age or comet impact in Earth's history. In previous times, we are entering what's called the sixth extinction. And the first 5 extinctions you can blame on ice ages or comet hits or whatever. Those were the first 5. They happened before we got here. Guys, the sixth extinction that we are in the middle of right now, as this man says, and I agree with him 100%, it rivals any ice age or comet impact that Mother Earth and the universe have cooked up in the past. In the first 5 major extinctions on this planet. Okay. Fenner, 95, has won awards for his work and author of 22 books, blah, blah, blah. Then it goes on talking about his work with that he's done. He just gives some of his own personal history about smallpox and stuff. All right, and getting back to the overpopulation thing. Last year, which would be 2009, official UN figures estimated that the world's population at currently 6.8 billion. It is predicted that now it's 2012, so we've passed the 7 billion mark. Okay, Fenner blames the onset of climate change for the human race's imminent demise. Quote, "We will undergo the same fate as the people on Easter Island. Climate change is just at the very beginning, but we're seeing remarkable changes in the weather already." The Aborigines, they're Aborigines of Australia, proved that without science and without the production of carbon dioxide and global warming, they could survive for 40,000 or 50,000 years as they have, before the Anthropocene age. He's quoting them as that humans can figure out how to do it. But the world, talking about the Aborigines, can, but the world cannot. The human species is likely to go the same way as many of the species that we have seen disappear, meaning at our own hands is what he's referring to. And then from there the article goes on to talk to other people who disagree with Dr. Fenner. The press always has to do this, that whenever they find a doomsday prophet willing to speak the truth, they have to run around and put this happy horseshit little Hollywood ending on the thing that maybe it's not too late if we all band together. So that's it. Dr. Frank Fenner, now dead, put him on my list of new heroes, comparing the global population to the Easter Island population. You know, as clear as Karo syrup. You simply need to look at what happened on Easter Island. I'm sure you know the story by now, that it was this small island that a few people colonized, you know, a couple of thousand years ago, and they simply ate their island into oblivion. They brought the same model to this little island that we have now brought to the planet. And it's no surprise that they are now extinct. There is no such thing as a, quote, native Eastern Islander, because they are extinct. They are extinct because they violated natural law. All right, I think it took about 20,000 of them to do it. We're at 7 billion. 7 billion. And we're doing it every day, and we're getting closer and closer and closer. So, you know, all I'm doing here on Humpty Dumpty Tribe, guys, is, you know, I agree with this man 100% on all three of his evil horns, the evil axis of overpopulation, overconsumption, and global warming. Man-made global warming caused by the reliance on the burning of fossil fuels. I happen to agree with the man that these are the three biggest threats facing the human race and this planet, and it is for that reason that I, in my own teeny tiny little life, one of 7 billion people on this planet, and all these people, you know, that they act like that and I agree with people when they say this, that the problem is too big. I agree with Dr. Fenner. The problem is too big, and we cannot stop it. And it's out of our control. Well, it is, but it isn't. As long as there is a planet left to save, for whatever it's worth, as I've called it, in my squeaking of this rat on a sinking ship, we do have control over one person, and that is the individual person listening to this. So if it seems to me that if overpopulation, overconsumption, and global warming caused by the burning of fossil fuels are the three biggest threats to ending human life and life of most other animals we share this planet with, that the best way, the only way that we can reverse this trend, if in fact it isn't too late, is to be the change you want the world to be. So if overpopulation is problem number one, the number one way you can help with the problem is to stop breeding. If by any chance you are still of breeding age and listening to this, the number one way you can save this planet is to stop breeding, is to bring no other consumers into this planet. Okay. Number two, overconsumption. You notice that he does not say overproduction by the planet eaters. It's so easy to blame these mean old planet eaters for overproducing everything from these little plastic baubles in China right up to fossil fuels. It is the consumer. We are the ones who keep the overproducers in business. The planet eaters are eating this planet because it is answering a demand from planet-wide consumers. If there was no demand for this crap, there would be no production of it. The less of this crap you buy and you bring into your life that we managed to live without as a species for 200,000 years the better the chance the human race and this planet has of surviving. The more you cut this worthless crap out of your own life, this is the only way you have any direct control over saving this planet, is to stop breeding, is to stop buying this crap, and the number one thing you need to stop purchasing to the best of your ability is fossil fuels. You know, it's just a repeat of my 4-part or 10-part rant how to save this planet. This is not rocket science, guys. You figure out what the problems are facing this planet and how you can take control of them in your own life. So after not breeding and not buying this crap, the number one most evil substance on this planet that is bringing the human race and the rest of this planet to its knees is fossil fuels. The more you are able to eradicate the use of fossil fuels in your teeny tiny little life, in your 1/7 billionth, but I won't get onto that rant. If you're an American with a gas-sucking car, you're not 1/7 billionth of the problem. You're a much bigger part of the problem than 1/7 billionth. Much bigger. So it seems to me that you need to figure out ways to get rid of fossil fuels out of your life, and the number one way you can do that as an American is to get rid of that gas-sucking car of yours. All right? If you don't want to listen to me, listen to this. You know, this 95-year-old scientist who eradicated smallpox from this planet, who understands population dynamics and how things work. These are the 3 biggest problems facing this planet in that order: overpopulation, overconsumption, and global warming caused by the over-reliance on fossil fuels. So if you want to save this planet, you will stop breeding, you will stop over-consuming, and you will stop, to the best of your ability, using fossil fuels. It is that simple, guys. It gets back to personal responsibility. And that's what I love about this guy. Everything he says, it implies taking some damn personal responsibility for your part in this mess. Don't you worry about the other 6,999,999,999 idiots you share this planet with. Worry about yourself and start softening your footprint on this planet. It is our only chance to save ourselves from ourselves. That being said, I will close this rant by once again agreeing with the late, great Dr. Frank Fenner that it's too damn late. We missed the boat. Or we're on the boat that's sinking, and I guess time will tell over the next 100 years whether Dr. Frank Fenner is correct or not. Bye, guys.